Shucken. Stoicism Breath script. Let them believe you're just average. Let them see you as another face in the crowd, someone ordinary, someone not built for greatness. That's fine because what they don't know is that your silence, your ability to go unnoticed, is your greatest weapon. You're not the one making the loudest noise. You're not the one chasing attention. You're the one moving with intention in the shadows where true strength is forged. Think about it. While the world runs after claps, likes, and fleeting approval, you're chasing something deeper, something real. They may laugh when you share your vision. They may roll their eyes when they see your discipline. They may mock the way you keep grinding while everyone else is relaxing. And that's good. Because when they underestimate you, they leave themselves wide open. That's when you rise. That's when you strike. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to convince anyone. What you need is to keep showing up day after day, night after night when no one is watching. That's where warriors are made, in the dark. While others are comfortable, you're becoming sharp, calculated, dangerous. You're turning pressure into fuel, pain into discipline. You're not here to impress them, you're preparing to shock them. And when your moment comes, when you step into the spotlight, battle-tested and unstoppable, you won't need to say a single word. They'll feel it. They'll know it. They'll remember the day they overlooked you because that was the day they made their biggest mistake. So let them sleep. Let them doubt. Let them talk. You just keep becoming the storm. At some point, every person realizes the truth. The world doesn't care about your potential. It doesn't care how much you dream. It doesn't care what you say you're going to do. That's the moment when the strong separate from the weak. That's when you decide, will you fold or will you flip the switch? Will you go silent, go underground, and build a version of yourself no one is ready for? Because silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. It's the choice to shut up and show up, to grind when everyone else is distracted, to suffer quietly so you can rise when it matters most. The average man craves attention, he needs validation just to keep going. But not you. You don't need their eyes, their approval, their applause. You know something they don't. The lion doesn't need to announce the hunt. This is Stoicism Breath. Stay patient, stay sharp, stay unshakable. Stoicism Breath script. The wolf doesn't need a crowd when it hunts, and the man who is truly dangerous doesn't need to make noise. He moves in silence. Let them underestimate you. Let them write you off. Let them laugh. You don't need to convince anyone because you're not here to impress, you're here to conquer. While others flex for followers, you're building real strength. While they complain about the grind you've committed to it, while they search for shortcuts, you're bleeding for every inch. Every quiet morning, every cold night, every lonely session, that's your edge. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you dangerous. They scream for attention, but you walk into a room with the calm certainty of someone who owns it. And when you leave, your presence lingers without a word spoken. Respect isn't begged, for it's earned in sweat, in pain, in relentless consistency. Here's the truth: the most feared man in the room is never the loudest. He doesn't need to shout. He doesn't need to prove himself. One look in his eyes tells you everything you know. He's been through fire, that he's bled for every step, that quitting isn't in his nature. That's you. Or that's who you are becoming. Not because you talk about it, but because you live it day by day, brick by brick, in silence. They don't see the 500 a.m. alarms. They don't see the parties you missed, the comforts you sacrificed, the reps that burned your muscles, the failures that cut deep, the nights you broke down and still kept going. They don't see it now, but they will. Because silence always transforms into presence, into energy, into undeniable power. And that power, you didn't buy it. You didn't fake it. You earned it in solitude, in discipline, in silence. So don't announce it. Don't explain yourself. Don't warn them. Just keep showing up. Keep grinding. Keep building. Let them doubt you. Let them overlook you, because when the day arrives, and it will, you won't need to say a word. You'll stand there unshakable, unbreakable, undeniable. Your silence will scream louder than any speech, not with words, but with results. Not with hype, but with presence. You are not noise. You are not chatter. You are not empty promises. You are grit. You are strategy. You are war. And your silence, that's your deadliest weapon. Because when it's time to finally speak, it won't be with words. It will be with impact, with dominance, with legacy. This is your time. Build in silence, rise with fire, and let the world regret the day they overlooked you. No one needs to know your next move. You don't owe them progress updates. You don't owe them explanations. You don't owe them your passion or your pain. The truth is, most of them were never watching to support you. They were watching to see if you'd fail. They were counting your losses, not your effort, not your hunger, not your drive. So stop giving them the privilege of front-row seats to your grind. They haven't earned it. Let them think you've disappeared. Let them assume you quit. Let them whisper what happened to him. Is he still chasing that dream? Let them talk. Because you're not here to be seen, you're here to become. And becoming doesn't need an audience. It needs obsession. Stoicism Breath script. It's in the darkness where greatness is forged. In those quiet rooms where the air feels heavy, where the clock keeps ticking but you refuse to stop. Every rep, every step, every drop of sweat goes unseen. No likes, no comments, no applause, just forward motion. While the world is busy running their mouths, you're running your race. Building in silence. Pushing through pain. Rising without validation. Your next move should be so silent it feels like exile. But when you return, you come back with results that roar so loud they echo. That's the moment when all those late nights, lonely hours, and relentless discipline finally show. People won't be asking what happened, they'll be asking, how did he do that? And the truth is, they'll never know. They weren't with you in the fire. They weren't there on the nights you were too tired to stand, but too determined to quit. They didn't hear your doubts screaming louder than your motivation, and still you chose to keep going. You didn't disappear. You didn't ghost the world. You chose yourself over them. You chose the process over the spotlight. You chose pain over popularity. You chose the mission over their meaningless opinions. And that choice transformed you. You're not just grinding anymore, you're evolving. You're turning pressure into power, sweat into strength, silence into success. Because kings don't waste time explaining. They execute. Lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. So let them ignore you. Let them count you out. Let them think you've peaked when, in reality, they haven't even seen the beginning. You're not here for revenge. You're not chasing validation. You're chasing greatness. And greatness has a price: isolation, obsession, repetition, relentless execution. No hashtags, no announcements, no group chats. Just pure, undiluted grind. Your life will start to feel like a ghost town. Fewer calls, fewer parties, fewer distractions. But in exchange, more progress, more peace, more battles won against the man in the mirror. That's the price of real change. If you want to transform your life, then vanish. Lock in, shut your mouth, shut out the noise, show no one, tell no one. Work in silence until your presence becomes a thunderclap that no one saw coming. And when that day comes, they'll call it sudden. They'll call it lucky. But you'll know the truth. It was built in the dark with no blueprint except your own willpower. No cheerleaders except your own voice whispering, keep going. Let them laugh. Let them scroll past. Let them assume they can predict your story while you quietly write the ending. Because when the lights finally come on and your results scream louder than their doubts ever could, you won't need to say a word. Your life will speak for you. You never needed a witness. You never needed permission. You never needed applause. What you needed was grit. What you needed was focus. What you needed was fire. And now you carry it. Stoicism Breath script. You've got more fire in you now than ever before, so keep moving, keep it quiet, keep it relentless. Because kings don't ask for permission to rule, they build their throne and then sit on it while the world watches in shock. Let the results speak for you. Let them regret doubting you. They said you wouldn't make it. They said you didn't have what it takes, too quiet, too small, too soft. They looked at you like you were just another face trying to be something. You know the type people who smile to your face but laugh the second you turn away. The ones who never believed in you but kept watching anyway, waiting for you to fail, betting on it, hoping for it. And through all of that, you said nothing. You didn't fight back with words. You fought back with work. You didn't waste your time arguing. You were too busy becoming unrecognizable. The truth is they never saw what lived inside you. They never saw the fire. They never saw the early mornings when the world was still asleep. They never saw the nights alone, the tears shed in silence, the sweat dripping on the floor, the doubt you crushed day after day. All they saw was the surface, and they judged you based on a version of yourself that no longer exists. Let them remember that version. Let them cling to the memory of the person they dismissed. Because the man you've become doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. He shows up, executes, and leaves them speechless. What separates you from them, it's simple. They talk, you move, they doubt, you deliver, they stall, you sacrifice. That's the difference they'll never understand. This isn't for attention. It isn't for likes, applause, or followers. This is personal. This is war. And you're the last man standing. While they chased comfort, you were building character. While they chased attention, you were chasing greatness. While they laughed at your small steps, you were laying bricks for a fortress they'll never break into. And now the results speak louder than anything you could ever say. Not just loud, deafening. Results that scream louder than your silence ever did. Suddenly, the same people who used to ignore you look twice. They scroll back through your life trying to figure out when it all changed. They pretend they always supported you. They act like they never threw dirt on your name when all you were doing was planting roots. Let them feel it, that heavy weight in their chest, that regret for not believing, that pain of missing their chance. Because you don't need revenge, you don't need validation, you don't even need to be seen. A man who's been built in silence, who's bled in the dark, who's trained while no one was watching, he doesn't fear the spotlight. He doesn't need it anymore. So let them talk. You're too dangerous now, too focused, too disciplined, too sharp. They can't reach you, not mentally, not emotionally, not physically, because you're operating on a different frequency. They post you progress. They pretend you prepare. They seek comfort. You seek conquest. And when it all unfolds, when the dust settles and the noise fades, the only thing left standing will be your results. Success is cold. It doesn't apologize, it doesn't argue, it doesn't explain itself. It doesn't scream or fight for attention, it just exists. And when it finally arrives, it cuts deeper than any words could because it forces everyone to remember. They'll remember who they ignored, who they laughed at, who they doubted. And they'll never forget that you were the one they overlooked. Let that truth burn inside them while you keep building, while you keep winning, while you keep sharpening yourself into something even more dangerous. Don't slow down. Don't explain. Don't apologize. You didn't just prove them wrong, you made it impossible for them to even say your name without choking on regret. That's how real power moves. Like a lion, no bark, just bite. You don't waste time competing. You dominate. You don't chase people. You chase your standard, your code, your purpose, your legacy. Let them regret every doubt. Let them wish they believed in you. Let them wish they treated you differently. But don't stop for any of them, because now it's not even about them anymore. It's not about proving them wrong, it's about proving yourself right. Right about your potential, right about your power, right about what happens when a man refuses to quit. From here on, there's no looking back. Not for applause, not for closure, not even for revenge. You're too far ahead. Let them chase shadows. Let them replay old memories. Let them drown in the silence you left behind. Because while they're stuck in the past, you're rising in power, in silence, and greatness. You are the result. You are the proof. And they'll never forget it. So let them underestimate you. Let them whisper, laugh, or roll their eyes when you share your dreams. That underestimation, it's fuel. While they waste time doubting you're quietly building. While they're watching you're working. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to prove anything today. Your results will do the talking. Your silence will echo louder than their noise. Remember this. Legends are built in the dark, not in the spotlight. So keep going. Keep grinding. Keep becoming the person they never saw coming. This is just the beginning. There's more fuel, more fire, more truth ahead. If you're still watching this, then you're different. You're not like the rest. You don't just start things, you finish them. Those who get underestimated are often the ones who end up rewriting the story. Stay sharp. Stay hungry, stay unshakable.